is where they make all the frames, the headers.
Non-chassis components. Got four frames, catalytic converter pipe, motor control arm to the rear, and on a solid axle. Spring purchase for a 4-link, door hinges, things like that. So those are all done on this area here. Some of the suspension brackets okay. Really like picture up all the parts and let it go. You get everything nice and consistent. And really fine through the process and then count on it being the same. That's what we're doing. That's where your chassis got pulled off. They just layer in piece by piece, pull it all up, tack it all together. So it's fairly heavy weld there. Take it all out. Come out of there, once it's complete, go in the order to the saves a ton of time and waste and everything. Makes it a lot easier to do. So anything that's on those rolls is headliner material, there's suede material, depending on the kit. It'll all get pre-cut like that. And so here's the PPM nose. Speed laid up. This is a liner that gets trimmed eventually. It goes inside the nose, gets polished in. Most of these holes out here are for the PPM, the body right there. Okay. All put together. And looks like it's just curing now.
Yeah.
And then in here, we've got roadster, trunks, doors, hoods, so the smaller components in there. The roadster main body and the coupe main body are done in a different location. We don't have the space to do that kind of volume in here, but they're all done the same method. So it's all just, you get that matting here. Right now it's going to get swept up and neatened up, but those are clamps in there. It locates the whole fixture, and then it's ready to go. This is a GTM. It's just a cover for it, but it's a fixture for 80-volt GTM rear hatch. Okay. And then we'll come in and trim all this out, trim it on the outside. All that extra, like piping, that extra hanging off. And then
It's called what?
It's called Oh So Sexy Red.
And it's from, the company's name is PPG?
PPG, yep. And it's like a copper base color that they spray on first, and then they spray on the red, which is kind of like a translucent, red clear. And then I think a clear over that. I forget. It's considered like a pre-stage. This is chassis assembly in here. We got two roadsters in here right now, with the aluminum being bent up and attached to the chassis. It'll all go on there with some of these self-tapping screws. Just to hold it in place. All come off eventually, and then get fitted on individually as throughout the build. Okay. But that's where it all starts at. So it comes in all flat from the laser cutter, and then we bend it up, put it on the chassis. It'll all, your foot boxes, your cockpit, the trunk, all that stuff. It'll have the aluminum in it, and the body will go on, the doors, the trunk, the hood. It'll all get cleaned up and get taped up for shipment. Okay. And then once it's through, got all those parts on it, everything's cleaned up and ready to go. It'll go up on the rack.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
So you ready to start?
It's a nice thing, you get it powder coated, you don't have to wait to start attaching things, you can get right to it rather than having to take your chassis somewhere and get it coated, or worse, have to paint it yourself.
Well, that's, like I said, I was talking with Brandon, so he kept recommending things.
Yeah.
From experience, this is, he kind of asked me, he said, what's the intent of the car? Is it for,
Yeah. it should be a good setup. But the complete stuff, I mean, you don't realize until you go through all the parts and you see. But it saves so much time in donor parts prep and all that.
Have to have your head checked.
3.7 million for this guy.
One just sold.
3.7 million. The original
Yeah.
Shelby Coke.
One just sold the Barrett Jackson 2 months ago for $5.
Yeah.
Wow.
This car's got probably the most successful racing heritage to it.
This is the color we both agreed we like.